WRBI Batesville, Greensburg, Versailles, Brookville now presents Southeastern Indiana's longest running and most listened to sports show. It's Coach's Corner, broadcasting live from the Coach Raver Corner at Ison's Family Pizza. Listen on 103.9 FM or the WRBI app. And now you can watch the show happen live too at WRBI-TV.com or on our Facebook page. Here is the host of Coach's Corner, Coach Rob LaFerry.
And welcome to Coach's Corner, delivered by Ison's Family Pizza. We are back on this Monday night after being out for last week due to Labor Day holiday. Rob LaFerry with you. Episode 3, serving up some more football talk for you on this Monday night. We've also got some volleyball to talk about as well this evening. But without further ado, and we do apologize for the technical difficulties to begin the night, we welcome aboard Batesville head football coach Evan Ulrey once again. 17-14 win at South Dearborn last Friday night, Coach. Your Bulldogs now 2-1 on the season, and we'll kind of break this down tonight with some positives and maybe some things to work on as you head into this Friday night. Obviously, the biggest positive of them all, it's another gritty win for your football team.
Yeah, we're never going to apologize for winning. Again, I was proud of our guys and just simply finding a way. You know, that's kind of something, you know, you just some Fridays you just got to find ways to do that. And I think, I think our guys have continued to compete all year in all 3 games. I mean, all 3 games have been tight to the finish, to the end. So overall, though, just like you said, it's gritty. It was a gritty win, not a tough place to play, and a hard-nosed fought game, and just again, happy for our guys to just get out of there, you know, and Brady Wannell to deliver big time like he did.
8-0, you guys trailed at one point in the first half last week. You guys come back with a pair of touchdowns. You had Rylan Yeager in there with the huge touchdown catch. You had, Ajon Herbert running in for a few yards there on a touchdown scamper. All sets up a wild and wacky finish there to the fourth quarter. No two-point conversion there for South Dearborn at the end. You guys get the football back, and when you've got a kid like Brady Wannell in there, you feel comfortable about that game-winning field goal that he put out at 27 yards.
Yeah, I mean, we get the first play, we get the ball, and, definitely just a weird finish, right? I mean, I thought our defense played really well, and then we give up the long drive in the fourth quarter. Get a stop on the conversion, and then I think there was like 50.8 seconds to go, and you just had to just tell your guys, hey, we're all right. We got Wannell on the sideline. Let's just go get it in range, And our guys, I think, understood that, right? It didn't feel like, hey, we had to panic. We had a couple timeouts, and you get a decent return. Ajon gets a great return, gets us out just shy of the 40, and then the first play, Rylan Yeager, you mentioned him earlier, gets on top, and get a big pass play, and before you knew it, we were already inside the red zone, and at that point, it was just one of those where we still had 2 timeouts because South Dearborn used a timeout. It's like, well, do we try to go score a touchdown, or do we just get the ball kind of where we need for 1L to basically feel even more comfortable, right? And I think ultimately the decision, as you know, we ran the ball 2 times and we were able to get almost another 10 yards and pretty much make it a chip shot field goal. And like I said, you just never know. Like, you know, in those cases, it's just you just want to make sure snap, hold, all that stuff is fine because there's a lot of moving parts into that kick. But you know, 1L, we know if you give him everything he needs, he's gonna knock it through the upright. So.
Talk about your offense. I think one of the things you want to try and continue to see is a more consistent look offensively for a full 4 quarters. Necessarily did not happen on Friday night, but the silver lining in everything was I thought your passing game was extremely impressive. I mean, for Dylan to come out 12 of 20, over 100 yards passing, that's a pretty good night for him.
Yeah, no, and I thought, we obviously changed the approach in the second half. You know, we came out in the second half. I think we still felt like we could maybe establish a run game. You know, Zayden Small going down the first play in the game, I mean, obviously changed the game plan. Not that we didn't feel like Ajon could do it, but, I mean, there's a reason Zayden's the starter and he's been electric, right? You know, he's had a really great start to the season, but I thought Ajon ran the ball well. I think we were just struggling sometimes. I think just consistently putting 3, 4, 5, 6 good run plays. You got to have a good balance. And I mean, Brady Ballard's a really good inside linebacker. I think that the strength of South Dearborn is their box, their D line, and their linebacking group. So you're kind of like running right into the teeth of like what their strength is. And I felt like our coaches continue to adjust and just kind of find those matchups. And I thought Rylan Yeager, Trenton Jordan, and Jackson Elston played really well. I thought that those 3, all complemented each other. Dylan Shane, I think, settled down. I know he was kind of his hand it was bothering him, and I think was causing some kind of errant throws early on. But he kind of gutted it out and found a way just to get those balls, those guys some opportunities to go catch some balls. And our pass game is really, I think, what lifted. And that's like you said, that's. Sometimes now you kind of build off that and it kind of adds a dimension to the offense. We found a way to win a game, not the way you necessarily draw it up, and not necessarily maybe with the guys that you thought would be having to execute. And so that's kind of the nice thing is you build some depth and you build some dimensions to what it is that Ajon Herbert gets a touchdown and Rylan Yeager and all that stuff, so overall, yeah, just very pleased to just it comes back to the beginning of this is we just found a way, and that's all you can ask for with your guys.
And you get to find a way because your defense just continues to be so impressive on their side of the football. You guys were able to create turnovers on Friday night. South Dearborn's a team that put up points against Jennings in week 1. They scored 42 in the second half against Madison in week 2. So this was a team that had the capability of putting points on the board, but just that defensive presence just continues to be a huge bread and butter for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I continue to be pleased. I thought we played really well week 1. I thought week 2 we had our moments, and then I thought Milan found some things, and we just weren't very disciplined and didn't play very well. I think at certain junctures in that game, and then with South Dearborn, I felt like we played better at a higher percentage of plays, and then our guys heard me before I got here. You would have thought we probably lost the game, but it's like there was little things that we still have to be better at. We got to be more sound. I mean, we gave up, I think, 250 yards of total offense. 80 of it almost came on the last drive, and then another 80 of it came on literally 2 plays in the first half on just, poor tackling or not right fits. And so you really look at, like, I thought we played well, but we still have to demand more from one another and expect that, hey, we know that we felt going into this year that the defense was going to have to be solid because we knew the offense, a lot of change there, that it was going to maybe take a little bit of time to catch up. I continue to be pleased with the progress of our offense and some of those guys. But yeah, I thought, defensively we went in, South Dearborn does have a couple receivers that I think that can cause some issues. I think it was hard for them to get the ball to those guys. I thought our secondary played really well. I think we held them to on the last play, I think if you count the 9 yards, I think we held them to 14 yards and 5 of it yards of it to the last play of the game. A couple interceptions, a couple sacks, could have been a couple more interceptions. I mean, it was a pretty good effort on the back end. But like I said, we just got to continue to build off of it because the EIAC, they're just going to keep on coming, and everyone's going to continue to give you your best shot.
Talking with Batesville head coach Evan Ulrey, and the Bulldog football program is at home this Friday night. They'll be taking on Rushville. Not just a home game for you guys, but homecoming week. And so this is that 1 week a year where it's a little bit difficult to prepare for because there's so many emotions and all the other activities that go into homecoming week. But you've also got to be focused on that opponent because you said it last week with Tom and Steve there, Rushville deceiving 0-3 ball club.
Yeah, they are. And I know, I'd watched them in their film against Milan. I thought they played Milan tough. I thought Milan's a good football team. But I thought Rushville competed and was there. They even had their lead early, and the game was tight. And then it was just kind of that juncture where the game kind of got away from them, and they just couldn't quite get enough to muster back. Their second game against Shelbyville, again, they did enough early, and just the game kind of fizzled away from them. They knew they were battling some injuries this past week against Franklin County, but Franklin County's a really good football team, and I think just kind of jumped on them there in the second quarter, and the game got away. That's kind of been the common theme. But they have some guys, and I'll say this, Rob, is that, and I told our guys, like, they have some guys that they're gonna jump out at you. You know, they really are. Number 20, the Pavey kid, is really good. Mm-hmm. The other one, number 12, another Pavey boy, really good. They got a freshman receiver, really good. They got some guys that like I say, they'd start for us, and they'd be guys that if we were to build your fantasy EIAC team, you'd be right there. I think they're really good football players, and and Coach Zimmerman's been doing this for a long time. I know he's going to continue to work at it and get that. And it's never easy, losing and all that stuff, but that hunger and that grind is going to continue to be there. And that's a group that there's still some key pieces that they had a successful last year, and they were very competitive. I just, you continue to tell our guys, like, hey, this team's going to keep fighting. They're going to get at you, and we're going to continue to get everyone's shot, and we're going to have to, like I said, eliminate distractions. Don't worry about the opponent. A lot of it even today was focusing on us and on what we got to continue to get better at for this week. But as I said, it's coming, right? The big games, they're there, and so and it's not about that we're looking for all those games. I'm not trying to, but as I've said, it's a process every week to just get better, mm-hmm. and we got to continue to stay hungry at getting better. So we're putting ourselves in the best situation, to whether win a conference championship, win a sectional championship, all that. So, and I think our guys see that and they understand that.
I like that you brought up that, big games are coming, because this is a game that on paper you guys will probably be a heavy favorite, but you have to play that way because any type of setback, even with a win and a setback, it's not going to look too good coming up in a couple weeks when you've got Lawrenceburg, you've got East Central, and you're going to run in those two teams back to back.
Yeah, that's always, you get through this first half of the season, and then it's like, historically, this has been a week where it's like, yeah, you could easily be a trap as you're going into an East Central, Lawrenceburg, kind of that grind.
Usually
it's, since I've been here, it used to, you got, East Central, Lawrenceburg, Greensburg, Franklin County. That can, you got two big ones, a rivalry game. I throw Franklin County there's a lot of rivalry there too, and just with the proximity and just the conference and some of the games we've had in the past. So it's like there's just a lot there, and ultimately in the end, it's just you just gotta take it day by day, week by week, and just continue to stick with the process of like, hey, how can we get better today? What can we continue to work on to perfect our craft? Whether that's myself as a coach, if you're the quarterback, running back, offensive, defensive line, whatever it is, continue to get better, because that's just what we have to do. And if you can just continue to make those little, those small incremental, progress and improvements, all that stuff's going to add up, and I say this, I really feel like our guys understand that. You go back and you just look at the last couple of years, and definitely like last year, a lot of these guys that did kind of play a piece in that is, we weren't the same team come November, right? And a lot of that was just because they understood, like, I got to continue to get better each and every day and each and every week. So that way I get, continue to play and get my opportunities, and because obviously everybody else is doing the same thing too.
Finally, Coach, obviously from that standpoint, a lot of focus on this Rushville game coming up on Friday night. But, of course, you do have high school kids. You've got a small-town community with you. It is homecoming week for the Bulldogs, and not just going to be a chance for you guys to go 3-1, but for all the fans involved, for all the Bulldog supporters, it's a chance to come out and enjoy a very, very cool atmosphere on Friday night.
Yeah, I mean, homecoming, is always fun. It's, a lot of these things, it's for the community, for the kids, the students, and all that stuff. And, again, as I always say, is every Friday, in the fall should be like a holiday. They should have them all marked down, because you only get so many of you. You only get so many that are home. Mm-hmm. And, if you get great weather, it's a great I always just joke, like, what else is there to do in Batesville? Like, this is like got to be it's the thing to do, right? And it should be the place to be, and it's homecoming. Our guys continue to work hard and, and get after it, and I think put a good product out there, something to be proud about. And, I've been very gracious of all the support in the community and the people that continue to get behind this team and these boys, and just got to keep building off of it, right? It's a long season, a long process, and we just got to keep on the grind, because we got bigger and better things that we want for this group. All
right, Coach, we'll go ahead and let you go for tonight. I'll be back in the booth with Tom on Friday night. We'll talk to you prior to that Rushville game.
All right, appreciate it, and congratulations again.
Thank you very much. Evan Ulrey of Batesville Football joining us as a part of Coach's Corner. We're going to step aside, take a break, and we're going to talk Milan volleyball after the timeout. It's Coach's Corner delivered by Ison's Family Pizza on Country 103.9 WRBI.
Simmer and sear with confidence using a Maytag freestanding electric range with 5 elements, including a 9-inch and 6-inch dual-choice element, variable broil, and warming center. You can knock out mealtime in no time. The steam clean cycle and fingerprint resistant stainless steel finish makes it easy to keep clean inside and out. Shop Garings today. Garings and Maytag, 316 North Main, Batesville.
Do you have joint pain? Joint pain doesn't have to be a part of aging. Adults with knee, hip, or shoulder pain can register now to get a free x-ray and attend a free screening and education program at Decatur County Memorial Hospital. Learn from orthopedic surgeons about non-surgical and surgical treatments that provide relief. To register, call 812-663-1279 or visit dcmh.net/events today.
Back to more Coach's Corner with Rob LaFerry, delivered by Ison's Family Pizza on 103.9 FM. Streaming audio on the WRBI app and with video on our Facebook page and at WRBI-TV.com.
And welcome back to Coach's Corner, delivered by Ison's Family Pizza. Rob LaFerry with you, and we just wrapped up talking about Batesville football. We will have the Lions and the Bulldogs coming up for you on a Friday night as a part of homecoming here at Batesville. And we're going to swap sports momentarily and talk about a Milan volleyball team that has so far this season been very impressive. And I've got a crew with me tonight. We'll begin first with head coach April Poole. Coach, Milan volleyball, as I've got it, 5-3 on the season. That includes a big win this past Thursday night, a 3-0 win over Jacksonville. Just talk about the progress that your team has made so far this year.
So far this year, we've had to overcome quite a bit in regards to injuries. That's the first thing that comes to mind to me, because we had a couple of players that here in the past couple of weeks have really twisted ankles, arm injuries, and things like that. So that changes up your lineup real quick. But other than that, we're right where we need to be and continue to move forward.
You guys started the season 0-2. I will say, though, those 2 losses are not bad losses by any means, because you played East Central and Bloomington South right off the bat. So it's a 5-3 record. You started 0-2, but you're 5-1 since then. What have been the keys for this team to get off to such a good start?
Well, our team is is young. I only have 2 seniors, so you expect a lot out of 2 seniors. So the rest of them, they just fall in line with these with my 2 leaders on the team. And honestly, just learning to trust each other, come out fighting every single point, and understanding that we play without fear. We don't fear losing. We don't fear shanking balls. We just continue to move forward.
And you mentioned only 2 seniors, and I actually had that written down getting ready for tonight, that you've got a relatively young volleyball program. You've got to be pleased, though, that, yeah, it's young, but you're seeing your young players develop very quickly and contribute to that winning that you guys have at Milan.
They sure do. My freshman class is a very competitive class. They came out fighting, and they make sure they keep the seniors and the juniors in line, knowing that they're going to fight just as hard for each point, and that makes the chemistry on the floor a lot easier and a lot more fun to watch too.
We'll talk about your team goals for this year, and I'll talk to the girls here in just a little bit about that as well. But as a head coach, you are playing inside the ORVC, so you know that you've got obviously some big opponents in there. South Ripley's probably your favorite inside the ORVC, and I know you guys are chomping at the bit to get a piece of them. You've already knocked out one county foe in Jacksonville, so I imagine being in that upper tier of the conference is a big goal for you guys, but I would imagine also county postseason. There's a lot of goals to be had for your team.
Yes, with this team, over the past couple years, I'm watching them grow. Every year you have that goal, conference win, sectional win. I think for us is to just take one game at a time. Our goal is to win each game that we face. Would we love to have a conference win? Yes. Would we love to have a sectional win? Of course. But that falls in line with each opponent we face. We have to take them seriously, and we have to do our jobs and be that great team that we know we can be.
And you've got 2 opportunities to do that this week. Coming up on Wednesday night, you guys are on the road against a Franklin County team that has not won a match yet this year, but teams like that can always be the dangerous ones. Then you're back at home on Thursday night against Rising Sun, and promote yourselves a little bit here. Thursday night, a great chance for a home crowd to come out and watch some good volleyball.
Oh, we love it when all of football players, soccer players, anyone that has nothing to do Thursday night, please come on out and root for your Milan volleyball.
All right, well, tell me about these 3 young ladies you got to your left. I know the faces look familiar, but and I know they're a little bit nervous, so let's go ahead and get them acclimated. Tell me a little bit about each, and we'll get the microphones passed to them.
Okay, so first here on my left is Emma Voss. She is my setter. She's been my starting setter for past 3 years now and has come a long way, both with leadership and just her game. She's a straight baller. She comes out every point ready to win, and she's teaching the young ones how to fall into place. Next is Trinity Reed. This was one of the injuries I was really upset about all summer long. Trinity, unfortunately, had to have her knee repaired. But she's on the mend. She's coming back in strong. She not only she can't be on the court with the girls, but she does a great job of stepping up and showing many of the young girls how to play defense, and she coaches on the sidelines. Then my final girl here is Josie Pryfocal. She actually is a junior. But, with being seniors, they have many obligations outside the court that they have to attend to. So anytime I know that my 2 seniors aren't around, Josie's there to step right in and help fill the role of team leader for Milan.
All right, well, let's go ahead and pass that microphone over. We've got Miss Emma Voss joining us here on Coach's Corner. We're talking Milan volleyball. First things first, 1,000 career assists. You got a chance to set that mark a few weeks ago. Just talk about the thrill of achieving that goal, and I'm sure something that you've got to be pretty proud of.
Yeah, it was definitely exciting. I wish I would have got it at home, definitely, but it was exciting to just set that mark, set it high, and just made me excited to achieve more, maybe like a school record. Just 200 aces on the way, so it was just exciting. Good start.
Talk about you, and Trinity, I'm sure can say the same thing with a lot of Milan girls. We can say this. You've had success at Milan, you've had some downfalls at Milan, and I've got a chance to see you guys have success, especially in softball. That has been where a lot of that championship success has come from. But you've been with this volleyball program now. You've been with basketball. Talk about just what it feels like to bring some winning back to Milan. What does that personally mean to you? Because again, another thing you can take a lot of pride in.
I think over the past couple of years, especially basketball, we have struggled. But I think softball has been like a good foundation for our winning program, for our girls especially. And carrying that into volleyball it's very exciting. And I think this younger class definitely just gives me hope for having more winning seasons and, just filling roles that we're going to miss next year.
And you're a senior with this group, and young players don't develop without senior leaders. So just tell me, what do you expect of yourself in that leadership role with a younger team?
I would say just developing them the best that I can. I don't know. Having a younger team definitely could be hard, but I think for us it's definitely something that we should be excited about. Just developing them into leaders and developing a setter that can definitely fill that role next year will be hard.
All right, final question for you, Emma, since you are a senior. Any future plans so far? This may not be the only time we talk this year, but what are we thinking here at least early on in the fall for you?
I'm hoping to play softball somewhere after high school and hoping to study at a 4-year college in sports management. So that's really all I can tell you.
There you go. All right, Emma, thank you very much. Trinity, pass it along to you. Talk me through the injury. When did this occur? And just talk about your recovery process.
It was a chronic ACL, so I tore it like 4 years ago, and we just found out in May. And I got surgery May 5th, and they repaired my ACL and then took out my torn meniscus. And it's a 9-month recovery, so just rehab for months, and I'm starting to jog and work a little harder in my athletic abilities.
And I know for you, definitely that hurt during softball season.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that not being able to be on the field, out on the court for various sports is a killer, especially for a high school student. So certainly there's some emotions that go with being upset and disappointed. What keeps you going, though?
I say the people around me and the atmosphere. My coaches for sure push me to be better, and my friends and family allow me to be who I am and work me through it.
Sounds like Coach Poole's pretty thrilled with you being an extra coach on the sideline.
Always.
Is that something that you're pretty good at?
I guess so. I just teach them what I know and I don't know.
A way for you to still be involved.
Contribute to the team.
Timetable on possibly getting back this year?
I'm working with my trainer, and we're going to see if we can play on senior night, but that's super early. But we're still thinking like December or January is my release date.
Very good. Talk me through memories that you have, because this can go away from volleyball. This can be anything that you've participated with at Milan, but certainly you've had a lot of time to reflect on the positives of your athletic career. Some of the highlights for you.
I'd say playing with Emma has been probably the most memorable, and I don't know.
Can I go ahead and add one for you?
Yeah.
Even though you weren't playing, that softball season this year had to be pretty special.
Pretty special, even though I didn't contribute on the field, but my mental part, I feel like, helped the other players work.
Goals for you for the rest of the year. Obviously, rehabbing is going to be a primary one, but some other things maybe as you wind things down, some expectations or some goals that you have for yourself.
Be able to play how I used to before, running, all that stuff. At least try and play on my senior volleyball season, but if not, then just basketball and softball season coming up.
All right, final question for you. Since you're a senior, future plans in your mind here as you enter this school year?
I plan to go into stenography. I'm not sure where, but USI has a good 4-year program, but if not, just a 2-year.
All right.
That's it.
Very good, Trinity. Thank you very much. And we'll go to Miss Josie, and we've got our 2 seniors in. Josie, as we mentioned, is a junior this year. Talk about these 2. How have they helped you out, at least through your athletic career, and you, not just you, but also helping out some of your younger teammates too?
They've definitely helped me and everyone else on my team. From a young age, we all were on a basketball team together, not even volleyball, but that they really helped me then. Going into my freshman season, they were someone I could look up to definitely if I was down, or even any other upperclassmen that were there at the time. Even though they were sophomores, I still had them to look up to. And this season, they have been really helping everyone, even Trinity on the sidelines, just keeping everyone to have a positive mindset throughout everything that's going on.
One of the things, and I graduated from South Ripley, so I can definitely relate to this. Small school, any activity that you do, whether it's sports, whether it's an extracurricular club, you're in the classroom, you're with these girls constantly. You're with your friends constantly, doing all the things that you love. That makes it even more special to go every day, go to school, go to practice, go play. You're with your friends constantly. It's something that you don't get to do at a lot of other places that might be much bigger than a South Ripley, a Mile, and a Jacksonville.
Yeah, for sure. Even throughout the classroom, we always just focus on what we can accomplish next in our goals. We don't ever look at what happened in the past, but we just look about what we could accomplish in the future, from small goals, from not shanking a ball to winning sectionals. So.
And it sounds like, Coach Poole talked about it, every night you're going out to compete. That is the goal. A lot of coaches will talk about championships, but as you guys continue to build the program, it's just that one match at a time mentality, and it's paid off for you guys so far. Talk about how much you've enjoyed that early season success.
This is definitely I feel it's not even for me, but for everyone on our team, it's really made us think about we can actually do this year. There isn't anything that's stopping us. So I think it's helped everyone's mindset.
And I'm going to feed into that question, and we'll start to wrap up here. But, with the volleyball program, you guys have been rebuilding the last couple of years. You lose a couple out of the gate, very tough opponents, and it's kind of that, oh man, here we go again. All you girls could very easily say, here we go again, but that's not been the case this year. I mean, you guys have been 5-1 since then, and you guys are starting to play some opponents, some good opponents, and be decisive winners. So just talk about, where does that confidence come from? Is it a personal thing? Is it a collective team thing? Where does that mentality begin to build that, hey, we can do this?
I think over the summer, definitely, with all the new freshmen coming up and stepping into big roles that they have, we've really just looked about and thought about it, and just how we can use them to help win. And with our first 2 losses against Bloomington South and East Central, it did kind of bring us down, but it almost encouraged us more, just because since they're bigger schools, we played well against them. It made us think, if we can play well against them, maybe we can against other teams as well.
All right, Josie, thank you very much. We'll
Thank
get that microphone to Coach Poole just one final time. But, Coach, again, congratulations so far on the start of the year. 5-3 heading into 2 matches this week against Franklin County and Rising Sun. You're doing some great things over at Milan, and we appreciate you and the girls taking the time to be here tonight.
Yes, thank you for having us.
That is Milan volleyball coach April Poole. Players around as well. We're going to step aside and take a timeout. When we come back, we'll go right back to some high school football. North Decatur head coach Steve Stern joining us. It's Coach's Corner, delivered by Ison's Family Pizza on Country 103.9 WRBI.
When it comes to you and your family's health, finding a primary care provider you can trust makes all the difference. At Margaret Mary Health, our providers aren't just here for you when you're sick. They're dedicated to being your long-term partners in health. If you're looking for a medical provider to help keep your family well, give us a call or visit us online. Our primary care providers are accepting new patients in Batesville, Brookville, Osgood, and Milan. Margaret Mary Health. Generations of care.
It's back. Our delicious chicken bruschetta pizza is back. Cecil here. I'm interrupting this commercial for some important news. Our operating hours are changing to better serve our customers and to better take care of our team members. We will be closing at 8 p.m. Sunday through Thursday. That's right, our new hours are Sunday through Thursday from 10:30 a.m. to 8 p.m., then Friday and Saturday 10:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Come let us serve you. LicensedFamilyPizza.com, 812-933-0333, or 117 East George Street, downtown Batesville.
In case you hadn't heard, Scripture Auto in Greensburg is now a part of Whitewater Motors.
If you have an issue down the road, you can call Jamie Scripture or Dave Scripture. Try that at some of the bigger places. It's just customer service. We've been taking care of people for a decade. That's our biggest thing. We treat them like family, always have. Rest assured, Dave Scripture and myself, Jamie Scripture, are still here running the business. So that's the big thing.
Visit them online at whitewatergreensburg.com.
Coach's Corner with Rob LaFerry continues. Watch us live on WRBI-TV.com or on our Facebook page. And hear us live on the WRBI app and 103.9 FM. WRBI.
Coach's Corner continues to roll right along here on Country 103.9 WRBI, the WRBI app, and WRBI-TV. Big thank you to head coach April Poole, the Milan Lady Indian Volleyball Program, joining us, along with Emma Voss, Trinity Reed, and Josie Pryfogel. We're back to talking high school football. North Decatur head coach Steve Stern is back with us on another Monday night. He is coming in 3-0, a 21-20 win over the Milan Indians this past Friday night. And Coach, it's a victory for you that no doubt had some fireworks at the end.
Oh, there's no question. I said to the kids I'd rather win ugly than lose pretty, and I think that game was the epitome of it. It was a great game. A lot of circumstances happened to get to the end, but I made a comment after the game that I think potentially, and I've not been around North Decatur all my life, but I feel like I've seen some good football players on that field, and I don't know that any single player has ever had a better night on that field than Corbin Thackeray did. He had 12 solo tackles. He led us in rushing, 93 yards, 12 tackles, but he had an interception called back. He blocks the kick on the go-ahead touchdown, and then return to the ensuing kickoff for a touchdown. Impressive. I'm glad we have him. I'm proud of him. But, there's a lot more than just him. As good as he played, I thought our guys stayed in the fight. And we talked about that, what is it, the old Marine saying, never out of the fight. And there were times that, they could have rolled it up and said, no, it's not tonight. But they didn't, and it was a good football game against a good football team. And we persevered. Again, wasn't pretty, but I'm very proud of them.
Milan had taken the lead with a touchdown pass at the 32nd mark of the fourth quarter, as Coach Stern just mentioned. Thackeray comes up with the blocked kick on the extra point. Ensuing possession, Corbin Thackeray, 80-yard touchdown run on a kickoff return with 19 seconds left. And you mentioned a lot of things that Corbin did for you this past Friday night. A big part, especially on offense, because unofficially 164 total yards for you guys. It was a night where you're not putting up the big flashy numbers. Yeah. This just turned out into an absolute slugfest.
It has. And the stat that'll get you more than anything certainly hit me quick after the game. They ran 61 plays. We ran 34. Which is a great plan by them. The fact that we didn't convert on the conversion downs, their fourth down conversion rate was very high. And it turns into that. And then it turned into that long ending possession where we fumbled on the edge of the red zone, potentially going in for the go-ahead score. But we don't. We fumble. That's the last time we touched the ball on offense. And that was just over 4 minutes left. So You've got to tip your hat to them. A lot of credit for them. It is a good football game. It's cliche, but it is a game that you hate to see either side lose. But it was a hard-fought game.
And this has been a game for you guys against Milan, no matter if it's been a regular season game, whether it's been a sectional game, these one-possession showdowns that come down the end. This has pretty much become the MO between the two schools.
It has. we keep a goal board outside our locker room for each opponent. There are 20 total goals, and we kind of use that as a measuring stick to educate our guys. These are the things that win or lose games. This game, you look back over the years, going all the way back to 19, this game has never been separated by more than 2 goals. Friday night it was 10-10, just as the score indicates.
Talk about you guys defensively, because this is a Milan team that, we've talked with Coach Ulrey, we've talked with you, I've talked with other area head coaches that, everyone knows that Wyatt Marsh is good and he's got targets, and I think we're starting to find out their running game is pretty solid too. You guys had to have a lot of guys step in to make some big plays. You forced 2 turnovers. You talked about an interception that got called back. Yep. Your guys are finding ways to make some big defensive stops against a really good offense.
We are. And again, Christian McKinney is our first-year defensive coordinator. Coach Kinker stepped aside. He's still on the staff. However, it's nice to have Dan's voice of reason for Christian as he kind of learns his way. But every time you have a change like that, the philosophy doesn't change, but the approach may a little bit. There's some different ideas, different rhythms, and I think we benefited from that potentially Friday. I thought Christian did a good job of having our guys ready in regards to knowing what we have to stop. I was going to fire our special teams coach, but I couldn't because it was me. And we did something I had never seen in a game where we had them 4th and 16. We jump off sides three plays in a row, and no words for it. And that leads to the tying touchdown at that point for them. So there were issues on both sides. But to defend Milan, as you said, they're a good football team. They can run it. They can throw it. The line of scrimmage is a common denominator, though. Those kids, man, they play hard. They're physical. Because down in there, you do talk about talent, but you talk more about courage on the offensive line. And their kids are tough, and they keep coming at you, and you knew they would. I thought that was a great matchup. If you went and watched nothing but that line of scrimmage that night on both sides of the ball, you would have gotten your money's worth.
Well, we'll keep you on special teams because the next guy I was going to talk about was Logan Odell, because he's 3 for 3 on extra points. It's a stat that's never going to jump out, but in a close game like that, 3 for 3 extra points, it matters.
There's no question. And, the other stat is he's kicking the ball 1-2 yard line. About every other gets in the end zone. That's a weapon. Obviously, you love the points, but to be able to kick off and give a high school opponent an 80-yard field, that's hard to overcome because they're going to have to put a drive together. In high school, at any level, though, to drive that long, they're going to have opportunities. Something goes wrong and helps you get a stop. So he is a weapon. He is kicker 2.0. His older brother is kicking at Taylor University. And we talked him out and said, hey, does your little brother want to kick? He came out. He is so raw. He has a great leg, but there's a lot about kicking that, his best kicking's still ahead of him. But he is a great weapon for us, great young man. Now I'm working on his younger brother.
Some other guys that step up for you, and I know that you've always got your different players of the week in different phases, so I'll let you talk about them. But I know another one that popped out at me, no touchdown run, but some added rushing yards, and that was Simon Barber.
Simon Barber is he's ready to shine. He really is. If he were on a different team and not have Corbin in front of him or beside him, he would stick out a lot more. What he's doing right now, he's very workmanlike. He's a tough runner. He's a physical kid, and he's just a sophomore. So I think he's got some great time ahead of him. He and Corbin are a good combination of players. Simon played well defensively, I thought, as well. Defensively, we had Hunter Meister as our player of the week. Hunter gets a little better every week. We've moved him around a little bit this year to a position that wasn't instinctive for him, but I think fits him well. Special teams had to go to Corbin. Also, I'd like to spotlight Tyler Dean. If anybody was at the game, we had an errant snap on a punt go over Tyler's head, and it landed, if not the goal line, real close, and you're just, here we go. And Tyler, as a good athlete, runs back, gets it, and gets kickoff. And it was a legitimate, probably 30, 35-yard kick, which was a great play. Great effort on his part. Offensive line was Charlie Palmer. Honorary captain this next week will be Simon Barber and senior Braden Yeager. And our scout player this week was Hunter Nobby.
All right, Coach, 3-0 heading into this week. And I'm going to bring this up. I have a feeling I probably know the answer, but IFCA poll coming out today, you guys have bumped up to the number 1 ranking in Class A. There's a lot of football to play, but a nice little boost for your kids without, of course, saying, hey, there's still a lot of football left to be played.
Right. There's several directions I can go with this. Number 1, I am appreciative of those who give us that credit and think that of our program. Secondly, I would say, and I've said to our kids multiple times, we started the year out at number 4, and I remind them, none of those people voting have been to our practice, probably haven't seen our game. So just keep it in perspective. It's not like we're on ESPN and the country's watching. But I do appreciate the votes. But then my third prong or tangent I would have to lean with the Nick Saban rat poison. That we can't let that saying what we are doesn't make you what you are. You are what you are. And that's a comment within and a theme within our program, that you are what you do. You found a way to win a tough game Friday, and that's what you need to focus on. And we've got some big hurdles coming. And Brown County brings its own challenge. The 2 schools haven't played since '90. Going to a new place, new environment. So we've got plenty of reason to keep our head down and keep looking. Our goals are big. And, again, that's a great feather in the cap for our program, our community, and our school. But within the locker room, we've got to keep it in perspective.
You mentioned Brown County. They're your opponent coming up Friday night, and this will be a road trip for you guys. Brown County coming in 1-2. They defeated Noblesville Homeschool as their only win so far this season. But, Coach Ulrey and I were talking about this with their approach to Rushville, because after Rushville, they've got East Central, they've got Lawrenceburg. For you guys, you're at Brown County. You then are home against Switzerland County. Pacers are 3-0 right now. I know you have talked very highly about that program. You want to be playing, you're the favorite, but you want to play like the favorite because you've got a couple weeks now to get ready for Linton Stockton.
There's no question. And you look at Linton Stockton's record, their record is deceiving. They traveled to Dayton last week and played Bishop Alter, and nobody, and no small school wants any part of that. But that's what you have to do sometimes. Going to Brown County, we got to take care of us. We've got to address the things that we put on film, the weaknesses that we put on film. There are challenges coming, and yes, I do think that Switzerland County, the day they started football, I told people, I said, that's a sleeping giant, because they've got big, they've got fast, they got strong, they got tough. If they can mold that into a football team, that's a formidable opponent, and I think now you're starting to potentially see some of that. I know Milan plays them this week, so that'll be a pretty good, knowing Milan as we do, just coming out of that game. I'll be interested to see how that matchup goes physically, but I think that'll be a good football game. Better than maybe people who look at Switzerland County and say, well, they've never done. There's always a first time, and I think that's what you have to keep in perspective. Those kids practice too. And the longer it goes without them achieving something, I think their motivation has improved as well.
All right, Coach, we'll go ahead and let you go for tonight. It's Brown County on the road this Friday. Best of luck to you and the Chargers, and hoping for 4-0 heading in the next week.
I hope so. Thanks for the time.
North Decatur head coach Steve Stern joining us on Coach's Corner. We're going to step aside, take a break. When we come back, we're going to be going back to last Friday night's interview with East Central head coach Jake Miners following the Trojans' first loss of the season, a loss at Class 6A ranked Lawrence North. That interview with Rob Moorhead and Jerry Stanger is up next as a part of Coach's Corner on Country 103.9 WRBI.
Jake, appreciate you coming up and chatting with us tonight. Long bus ride coming up on the way home, but a game like tonight, you started out great. The first quarter you won. Turnovers coming in, but I guess you try to look at a game like this and try to draw some positives out of it. And go on with the season starting next Friday night up at Brookville?
Yeah, first and foremost, I mean, Lawrence North is that's a whale of a football team.
Yes.
That running back is special, the quarterback is special, have all kinds of wide receivers that can really, really hurt you. So, I mean, I think it was pretty obvious that we were trying to limit their possessions. We did a great job in the first quarter, really hanging on to the football and keeping them, keeping their offense off the field. Because when you see their offense come on the field, it's tough. It's tough. But as I told the guys at the end, I told the guys that, if you look at the game, I don't know if it affects the outcome or not, but we always preach, tackles and turnovers on defense. And I don't think we were very good tacklers tonight. Turnovers, we were able to create a couple, but tackles, we weren't there. And then offensively, we talk about taking care of the football and scoring points. And, when you only put 7 points up on the board, you're inside the 1 yard line and experience a turnover. Again, there at the end, again, we're inside the 10, at the 5 yard line and still not able to punch it in. So there's definitely a lot of execution things that we have to work on, but I don't want to take anything away from the Lawrence North team. That's a heck of a football team. We knew it was going to be a challenge coming up here. Playing, in their stadium for the first time, playing a 6A opponent. But there's definitely things that we can work on. But, all of our goals are still in front of us. It's at the end of the road. It's week 3. And, as I told the guys, we just have to, life's tough sometimes. It doesn't go the way you want it to go. You gotta, hold your chin up high and you gotta focus on what you can control. We can't control what just happened, but we can focus on our reaction moving into the next week.
Offensively, obviously, Nolan Maple, the times he dropped back to pass tonight was pretty much running for his life, trying to get away from somebody. But the job Colton Bellman did, Ryan Mingus going down next week. You called on him in the second half last week. He responded. You called on him tonight, and as far as his yards rushing, he responded in a big way. Runs hard.
Responded in a huge way, and they're tough yards too. Obviously, there's some stuff there in the passing game, but their speed was hurting us up front. Their speed was definitely hurting us. It's the first time our line blocked their tails off. I don't know how many times we ran power tonight, but it has to be in the 30 range. Our guards are still pulling. We're still fighting at the end. We're able to make their way all the way down the field. But, we struggled in the pass rush. We knew that coming in it was going to be a challenge. But, when you get behind a couple scores, you kind of have to cut it loose and open things up. So I still love Nolan Maple. I think, he's going to tell you that he feels awful about tonight because of some of the pass attempts we did have. But, to be honest, I tell him all the time, it's really tough to play quarterback. It's really tough.
There's no doubt it's the toughest position in probably all of sports.
Yeah. And, I thought he did a great job leading our offense. Even there in the second half when things got tough, what I'm most proud about our guys is our guys continued to fight, continued to play the next play. So we had that last week, and it was, we came out on top. Unfortunately, this week we weren't able to make the plays when we needed to. And look, when you don't play perfect against a team like that, it's going to be a challenging night for you. So there's definitely we just didn't feel like we played our best game tonight. And I think that's probably the most upsetting, but we did a lot of things really well. We're going to focus on the positives when we get back home and kind of regroup a little bit.
And you can't simulate in practice the speed and athleticism.
Nope.
And the way these guys handle themselves on the field, Lawrence North on offense. And they're all coming back next year. All their playmakers are back again.
I guess the good news is they're not on our schedule next year. But.
Good thing it's a one and done here with Lawrence North. But still they went up and down the field twice, 90-some yards, but still your guys, and like you said, and they competed. Mm-hmm. They never stopped playing the entire game.
Yeah, and I mean, there's things, from a defensive execution standpoint, when you're facing that kind of speed, I mean, they ran an outside zone to the left, and the kid stops on a dime, reverses field on us, and if you're not in perfect position, you're not going to make that play. And, unfortunately, we weren't in perfect position. And even if we were in perfect position, quite honestly, I don't know that we get the kid to the ground.
Right.
I mean, he's just a special player.
Yep.
We haven't seen – we played some really, really good football teams here through the first 3 weeks. We knew it was going to be a challenge going into the season, but we haven't faced a tailback like that. Crew Gilmore, I don't take anything away from him. He a heck of a football player.
Right.
A little different speed at quarterback tonight. So, when we think we have the play covered, all of a sudden he's running around. And you can put a spy on him all you want, but when he outruns your spy, that makes life difficult. So, we're going to lick our wounds a little bit. I think it's the first time. I don't know if it's first time in school history. I feel like it is because I can't remember that we've taken on a 6A football team. And now I
think it is.
I think, we know if you look at the game within the game, we were very competitive tonight. I think we made them nervous a few times tonight.
I think they definitely were after the first drive.
Yeah. And then even when they scored, we're up 7-6, and then we have a turnover, and then they go in and score. So it's just little things like that. The game kind of got away from us late, but overall, I'm extremely, extremely proud of our group. I love working with them. I don't have to say a whole lot to them. We're not going to scream holler. Again, we're going to focus on the positives of what happened tonight, and it's week 3. You're trying to build a football team for week 10. So I think we got better tonight, even though we experienced a loss. We're going to see how we're going to rebound as a team. And I think that we've achieved our goal of getting better every single week. And that ultimately is our goal. So we're playing our best football come week 10.
Coach, we appreciate your time. See you at Brooksville next Friday night. Thank you very much for coming up, Jake.
Thank you, Jake. We appreciate you.
You only have one smile. Make yours the best it can be with Batesville Dental. For over 40 years, Batesville Dental's provided the latest technology in their state-of-the-art facility. They strive to make your visit a pleasure. Doctors Broughton, Liedermeyer, and Roberts and their staff offer preventative care, Invisalign, implants, extractions, and cleanings to keep your mouth healthy and your smile beautiful. Batesville Dental, 391 Northside Drive, Batesville. You only have one smile. Make yours the best it can be. Batesville Dental.
We don't sell you cars, we help you buy them.
Fleetwood Chevrolet at 950 North Michigan Avenue in Greensburg invites you to visit them. They're here to help you with your next new or pre-owned vehicle purchase, as well as all your service and parts needs. They're the home of Greensburg's only drive-in service lane and free oil changes for life with the purchase of a new vehicle. Give them an opportunity to earn your business at Fleetwood Chevrolet.
We don't sell you cars, we help you buy them.
When looking for the highest standard of HVAC service and care, turn to Hurt & Elko, your local Lennox Premier dealer. Hurt & Elko and their Premier dealer status means you're certain to be working with a company who has the highest level of training, professionalism, and customer satisfaction. For a limited time, they're offering up to $1,900 in rebates on a brand new Lennox system or finance with low monthly payments. Call Hurt & Elko today at 812-934-4646 or visit them online at hurt-elko.com to learn more. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
More Coach's Corner with Rob LaFerry, courtesy of Ison's Family Pizza. We're on 103.9 FM, streaming on the WRBI app. And you can see the show live on Facebook or WRBI-TV.com.
Back one final time from the friendly confines of the Ron Raver Corner here at Ison's Family Pizza for episode 3 this season of Coach's Corner. A big thank you to our guests tonight, Batesville head football coach Evan Ulrey, Milan volleyball coach April Poole, alongside Emma Voss, Trinity Reed, and Josie Pryfocal, plus North Decatur head football coach Steve Stern joining us too again this evening. And as you just heard, Jake Miners, his post-game interview from Friday night. It was a big game for East Central, but the Class 5A number 5 Trojans fall to the Class 6A Panthers from Lawrence North this past Friday night to go to 2-1 on the season. They look ahead at what's to come on WRBI this week. It all begins tonight with Cincinnati Reds baseball. It's a brand new series for the Redlegs, and suddenly they have found themselves right back in the playoff chase. A 3-game series opens up tonight against the San Diego Padres. 9-10 airtime tonight and tomorrow. 8:10 airtime on Wednesday night on the Reds Radio Network. And then Friday night, we've got high school football for you. Rushville is at Batesville. Tom Snape and I will be on the call for that homecoming showdown for the Bulldogs. 6:40 airtime with a 7 o'clock kickoff. You'll find it here on WRBI-TV and the WRBI app. And then also on Friday night, same time, 6:40 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff, FM dial and the WRBI app. It is East Central at Franklin County. Rob Moorhead and Jerry Stenger will have the call. We'll see if the Wildcats can stay unbeaten on the season, taking on the visiting Trojans. And then we'll have Reds baseball following that game on Friday night, as they will be in California to take on the Athletics. So that is our schedule. Our full schedule, of course, you can find on our website at WRBIRadio.com. So on behalf of all of our guests tonight, and on behalf of our entire WRBI staff, along with the fine folks here at Ison's Family Pizza, this is Rob LaFerry saying so long, and we'll huddle up together again next week on Coach's Corner on Country 103.9 WRBI.
Listen Monday nights at 6 for Coach's Corner with Rob LaFerry, live from Ison's Family Pizza. Come check out the show in person or listen on 103.9 FM or the WRBI app. And now you can also watch the show happen live at WRBI-TV.com or on our Facebook page. From Southeastern Indiana's local sports voice, WRBI Batesville, Green.